The first text came out of nowhere. Don't forget the party tonight. It was her voice, short, clipped, the kind that used to make me ache with longing, now just a ghost pressing on my chest. A year had passed since our divorce. A year of empty mornings, slow dinners, and nights spent replaying every moment that had led us here. And now, of all times, she wanted me at a party. I told myself I was fine. I'd been fine for months. I'd rebuilt my life, piece by careful piece. And yet, my stomach knotted the moment I imagined her face, her sharp laugh cutting through the hum of the room. When I arrived, the house was warm with laughter, glasses clinking, and music playing just loud enough to drown out unwanted thoughts. People I barely knew smiled, shook hands, and then I saw her. She was standing near the corner, a glass in her hand, her eyes scanning the crowd until they landed on me. My chest tightened. Something in her gaze was colder than I remembered, sharper, a warning I didn't quite understand yet. I tried to approach. "Hey!" I started, my voice too soft to carry. Her eyes snapped to mine, a wall rising in an instant. "Don't come near me." The words were small, but they landed like a hammer. I froze. Not anger, not sadness, just shock. This was the woman I had shared everything with, the one who had slept beside me for years. And now she spoke like I was a stranger, like I was an intruder. I backed off, my hands tightening into fists at my sides. I wandered to the crowd, trying to catch my breath, trying to make sense of the sudden coldness. And then she left, slipped away before I could even gather my thoughts. Weeks later, memories began to sting in ways I hadn't expected. The small lies I had overlooked, the subtle avoidance when I asked about her day, the way her phone would vibrate in her pocket, and then she'd smile in a way that wasn't for me. I questioned myself first. Had I been blind? Clingy? Was I too trusting? Too naive? Then, gradually, the pieces started to come together. I found a message tucked behind the familiar threads of our group chats. A simple text she thought I would never see. I don't want him to know. Not yet. My hand shook. I reread it a dozen times. My world tilted. Betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper, a shadow creeping into corners you didn't know were vulnerable. I confronted her quietly after a week of pacing and sleepless nights. "Were you seeing someone while we were?" My voice faltered. She didn't flinch. She didn't lie. She looked down, fiddling with the bracelet on her wrist. "I was confused," she admitted softly. "I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't know how to tell you. I wasn't happy, but I didn't know how to leave without hurting you." Her words cut, but oddly, they also freed me. The guilt, the self-blame, it all had a name now. Her betrayal, not my failure. Over the following months, I rebuilt again, but this time with a quiet determination, protecting my heart while letting it heal. And then came the night that tested everything I thought I had overcome, a mutual friend's party. I had told myself I would stay away, but curiosity, and perhaps a lingering thread of old attachment, brought me there. I arrived with someone new, not casually new, not a fling, but someone whose laugh filled the gaps I had left open for far too long. And there she was, watching, from across the room. Her eyes landed on me and then fell on her, the woman who had taken months from me, then left me to stitch myself together again. I felt her stare, icy and sharp, but this time it didn't reach me. I wasn't the same man she had known. Her lips parted slightly, an almost silent what? Escaping. I smiled gently at the woman beside me. She leaned in, whispered something funny, and my chest felt light, unburdened, and I realized she had never expected to see me happy again. Never imagined I would let someone in who made me whole. She didn't approach. She didn't speak. And I didn't look back. That night, I left with her, walking through the quiet streets as the city lights shimmered on wet asphalt. I felt a clarity I hadn't known in years. Pain had shaped me, yes, but it had not broken me. Love had left me, but it had been replaced not by bitterness, but by self-respect and the courage to trust again. Sometimes, closure doesn't come in words. Sometimes, it comes in the quiet strength of moving forward, in choosing yourself over the past, and in smiling without guilt at the life you are rebuilding. A year ago, she said, "Don't come near me." Tonight, I didn't. And for the first time, I was truly free.